Welcome to Bookwood. I'm glad you chose to spend some time with me. If you haven't met before, I am Mashou and I create bookish and journal content over here on YouTube. In this vlog, we are going to talk about my reads for TBRathon Map of Stories, the year-long version created by Leandra from Leandra the TBR 0. If you want more information about this readathon, you will find a link to the announcement video down below. This month we are reading for the genre middle grade, and I have picked this book, which is The Skull by Jon Klassen. It is a book that is ticking off all the prompts. It is middle grade. It is a book with a child as a protagonist. It also has a child on the cover, and it is a book that I saw on BookTube, and that would be on the book castle. I was under the impression that this was a graphic novel, but it is more like a picture with text book. So I do not use my usual timer that I use for these videos, because I will not need 24 hours of reading for this book on a weekend. This will not take that long. So I came outside. We are at Le Moulin de Ferrières, which is a place that is featured in at least one of my hikeathon vlogs. I will look up which one it is, and I will also link it down below. In that video we will show more about this place. And we came back here because it's a very nice garden to sit in, but also there is a playground that we needed to test. And so the kids are going to do that whilst I'm reading. You will notice a change in the stability of the camera. Niklaus was done helping me, and so I get out the tripod. I finished reading The Skull by Jon Klassen, and I am so happy that I picked up this book. I don't know if it is the fact that it is small or that it is a hardcover, or maybe it is the way the pages are set up, but this book really made me want to take my time to read it, to really watch the art in it, because all the drawings are really beautiful and very poetic. And even if the text is not especially poetic or especially flowery or something like that, it is still very nice to read. So in this book we will meet Ottila, and Ottila is running away from home, and she runs in this forest that always grows more threatening, and she will end up finding a house, and when she knocks on the door she will meet its inhabitant, which is this skull. We will never know who exactly this skull is, but he will invite her in, show around in the castle, and we will discover a quite typical older castle, and will eventually invite her over for the night since she doesn't want to go back home. He will also tell her that a skeleton will come and visit, because the skeleton wants to get the skull, and he doesn't want to go back with the skeleton. And Ottila will face that, and how, well, I will not tell, because I think some of these elements could already be considered spoilery. This book, I learned at the end, is based on a fairy tale that the author read whilst being in a library in Canada for a presentation, and it really touched me, this end word, because, and for once I read it at the end. He explains how he read this story completely by accident. That's him. He found this fairy tale book, found a story in it called The Skull, was intrigued, read it, put it back. And 1 year later, he was still thinking about this story, and he forgot the title. So he contacted the library, who found all the information back for him. And when he reread the story, he noticed that his brain had remembered it quite differently than what the story actually was about. And this made me think of how I got back into serious reading. I have read a lot as a child, as a teenager. I read during my studies at college when I discovered fantasy. And from then, growing up, being in a household, being married, having kids, working, I kept reading, but way less. I think I grew down to 1 or 2 books each year. And when COVID hit and our library had the BiblioDrive system, I thought it was a good time to get back in it. And I remember that I was looking for a book that I had a memory of. No title, no author, just this scene of this troupe of artists that, like a circus, that is going over a hill and setting up camp. And I also remembered something of living ships, and that's how I started to read the Living Ships trilogy by Robin Hobb, which is 9 books in French. And it took me more than a year to read them all, and to find out that no, that is not the book that I had in mind, or at least not completely. Les gars, my kids are tearing down the playground. Where were we? Oh yes, and when I reread the Devry Cycle, about the Devry Saga by Catherine Kerr in 2024, I think that was, it's already so long ago, I had bribes also of this memory in this book, but it was also not completely what I remembered. So I really do vibe with this feeling of a story really gets to live its life in your head. This brings us back to this book, which is a fairy tale, and now I want to find the original one. I'm going to look that up because now I'm quite intrigued by it, and I'd proposed to the kids to read it out loud to them, but they are way too into playing outside with this beautiful weather. But I'm going to put the title on a little list, and when Halloween comes around again, I will ask this book again from the library to read it with my kids and to see how they think about it. So the weather is still nice, you're still having a lot of fun, and so I think I could squeeze in just one other little read. Let me grab that. And that's this one, and it is a book that is not translated to English. The title, if I translate it freely from French to English, it says On the Song of Frogs. This is a comic book series. It's the first one, and it's Urania the Witch, and it is by 3 different people, and I'm going to look if I have first names in here. So the concept creator is Barbara Canepa. The scenario is from her and Anaïs Halard, and the design is by Florence Sacré. And then also there's some other person who is called Giovanni Rigano, who worked on what they say is encyclopedic pages, and we'll see what that is when I come to them. So I know that Niklas has started reading this and he has not yet finished it, so we cannot ask him what he thinks about it, but he told me that I was going to enjoy it. So let's dive into this one. I finished reading this comic, and indeed Niklas was right. I do highly enjoy it. It is very cute to start with, and we will meet this whole group of friends who are children living in Greenwood. Oh, that is my plate coming down. And we meet them when they are at Urania's house. It's said in the village that she's a witch. She knows a bunch of strange stories. She knows a bunch of natural remedies. And the children love to pay her visits on Friday night to hear the stories she has to tell. The next day, on Saturday, and I say day because for some are nocturnal and some are deer animals, so they meet at moments when they are all awake. The children set off into the woods to find ingredients for something. We will only find out at the end. And this will, I think, set off the series, because they meet at their clubhouse, and on the back, and I will just read it because I need to translate it. It is like, do not look for our secret tree hide. You will never find it. To be invited, you have to respect 3 rules. Participation. It is mandatory to be on the meeting every Saturday morning. Okay, we have a motor club passing by. Let's wait for a second. Okay, participation. So it is mandatory to be at the meeting every Saturday morning. For the rest of the time, the cabin will not be accessible, and if you try to get in and winter with a rabbit says, you will have some trouble with me. The second rule is discretion. Never tell adults where we are. When you leave the village, cover your tracks. Vigilance. Please make sure that Shadow, who is a spider, does not make webs everywhere. I always get my feet caught into them. And the book ends on the surprise that the ingredients that they were looking for the contest, which is a cake contest, are not. They thought they had an advance because one of the children overheard a conversation of their mom, but they didn't get it all, and so they start on the same foot as everybody else. So I suppose that we will be learning more about this context in a second book. So I said I didn't really know what they meant with the encyclopedic pages. Let me find one. So throughout the story, we have pages like this one, who give information about nature. This one is about spiders. But there is also one about, how do you call it? Garlic. And this one who talks more about the plant. And there is also one, and now I'm tempted to postpone this vlog outcoming, but I will not, because it would take too long, because there is also this one, which is about the beet, and it gives a cake recipe that I'm certainly want to try out. So I will not postpone this vlog coming out, but I will probably include this in one of my February carousel vlogs, so stay tuned for those. So the story is cute. I cannot tell a lot. It was a big introduction to the animals, their characters, and their surroundings. But the art is, they just keep coming. The art is beautiful. The atmosphere is also very nice. Let me see if I can find. Like this is the cabin, and I will not, for me, seek out to read this especially, but I am going to keep asking these comics from the library and just put them into the library shelves that we have, so that the kids can dive into them. Niklas seems to like them, and it doesn't take long for me to read those, so I can always pick it up and read more of those as well. This marks the end of this vlog. I think we can say that I made it through the TBRathon challenge of this month. I hope that you enjoyed seeing these two reads, who I think were both very good choices for this genre of middle grade. At least I had a very fun time reading them. And I also enjoyed a lot to be able to read them outside in this nice spring weather, and to have as a background noise my kids who are having a lot of fun at this smaller playground. They already asked me if we could come back, so I think that in this summer season we will be filming here and visiting this place more often. If you want to see what we come here for and when, then please you can subscribe to this channel so that you will miss none of our videos. And even if we get a very rainy summer and we don't get to come here, I think we will still have a lot of fun. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you participated in TBRathon, please let me know what did you read for the middle grade genre, and did you read it all this weekend? Did you enjoy your read? But even if you haven't participated but you have a middle grade recommendations to make to us, then we will gladly take note of them, because we are always looking for great stories to propose to Niklas to read, or to read together with Naoki. See you soon!